Danna. Good morning.
Megan, I missed your face so much.
Yeah,
So much.
here I am. Yes, I missed your face too. I was just about to tell you that I think your hair looks thicker or something. Or maybe it's your backlight because you don't have a backlight now.
Yeah, I think it's just that window. I think it's just that
Yeah,
window that I kept open and all the light, because I have such thin, fine hair
yeah,
that every little ray of sunshine goes through it.
yeah. Okay.
So hopefully,
It's a trick of
hopefully
the eyes.
it is probably. I mean, I've been trying to get every sunshine moment. I'm like, here, hair, take it in. But I don't think that's what did it this past
Yeah.
week. How
So,
are you?
Donna, I am okay. We missed last week because last week I was in the States and I wasn't gonna wake up at 4 a.m. to do this call. Um, but I'm back now. I'm back 2 days, and we can just hop right into the segment. Are we okay? And my answer is my body feels awake. I wake up at 5:50. I went for a walk at 6 o'clock, sunshine in my eyes, listening to my audiobook, but my brain is still
Lagging.
asleep. Yeah,
Mm.
still asleep. So I think it's gonna take me a little bit longer. And also like my stomach feels weird, after the
Oh,
whole jet lag thing. Like my eating schedule is also off. So then my stomach feels a little weird. So
mm.
yeah, I'm okay. And I was sick while I was away. It wasn't because of vacation. It was because my mom was sick, and so I
Oh.
got a head cold. And then I do my top two, and then I had a third option because I was in the States, so I could buy stuff, which is I immediately do 2 times salt hypertonic solutions in my nasal wash to
Mhm.
wash my sinuses out, and then I gargle with salt water, and then I started taking Zicam, which is a zinc product, right away. And literally it was 2 days, but those 2 days I was so exhausted. I just needed to sleep, which I was able
Mm.
to do. So I have a little bit of ickiness, but that's my body's okay. How are
Yeah.
you? How are you after all my
No, it's fine. I don't have any better news as always, but no, I'm okay. I have been suffering due to starting a hormonal treatment, and the hormones that they gave me just kicked my butt.
Okay.
So
What
yeah, it was rough.
Tell me more if you want to about this hormonal treatment. What is this?
So basically, for all of the viewers who want to know, um, I've I bleed a lot more than I should. Like it's just
Mhm.
constant, like a good 2 weeks out of the month I'm bleeding. And of course I've hit perimenopause and stuff. So I went to different my gynecologist just retired just as all of
Mm.
this started. So I was like, damn it. So tried another guy, ended up at some old white dude's office who told me that hormone therapy is like plastic surgery. After I told him that I'm bleeding all the time and I'm chronically low on iron.
Yeah.
So I kissed that dude goodbye. I was like, I'm
Wait, but
never coming back here.
wait, I don't understand. How is hormone replacement therapy like plastic surgery? Did he expound on that?
I didn't want him to. I would
Oh,
have punched him
okay.
in the face if he did, because I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" I'm like losing blood so much. Anyways, before this even happened, once a year I would have to get iron
Yeah.
infusions because
Yeah.
I'm super low and the tablets don't help. Long story short, I ended up the first time in my life I have a woman gynecologist, oddly enough.
Woo.
And yeah, I got her contact from a friend who recommended her. And I went over there and I was like, listen, this is the story.
Mhm.
How can you help? And she goes, look, hormone therapy is, of course, not covered by insurance in Switzerland. Surprise,
Of
surprise.
course.
But she goes, let's start with this. And she gave me the pill. She's like, start with that. Don't take the placebo pills. Just continue. And so your period will stop for like 3 months and then we'll go on to the next stage. And I was like,
Hmm.
"That sounds amazing." She goes, "Well, you know, you might feel a little down, But it seems like you're in good spirits right now. I was like, don't let my smile deceive you. You don't know me. I'm like, the more depressed I am, the bigger the smile is. So I don't know how that was smart. But anyways, I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
I started taking it for like a month and a half. And not only did the bleeding not stop,
It
no,
got
not
worse.
only did the bleeding not stop, it got worse. Yeah. So like 2.5
Yeah.
weeks I was bleeding and I was like, what the actual fuck? And my depression just got worse every single day.
Mm,
So I went back actually just yesterday and I was like, dude, do
yeah.
something.
That's not working.
Yeah. So she saw that there are cysts that are probably making the bleeding, causing the
Mm-hmm.
bleeding. So that was that. And then she now kind of like gave me an entire, I need to make a lot of space for all the things that she now gave me. I have to take something for 14 days, stop that, start another thing, like just kind of like,
Mm, yeah.
so that's me.
Okay.
Fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't my problem was similar but not the same because it was when I had my uterus and when I was going through my menses. I feel like this is turning into like a period podcast. At
Yeah.
least our
Yeah.
live
Welcome.
version.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but my problem was I had endomyosis or
Mm.
endomesis, however you pronounce it, which is where you have extra uterine tissue inside the uterus, where
Yeah.
endometriosis is where it's outside the. And when you have extra tissue inside the uterus, then it just all of it bleeds. So that was
Yeah.
my extra bleeding, but my extra bleeding was confined to the whatever 4 or 5 days that it would normally go, and but I would just bleed a lot during
Yeah.
those 4 to 5 days. I am so happy I didn't have that problem of bleeding for like 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
think,
Two and a
yeah.
half.
Ugh.
I was
Wow.
like, this needs to stop. I mean, i- it's funny because I was trying to explain it to my dudes here, and I was like, look, there's one thing where you're like just fucking bleeding out of your uha
Hmm.
forever and it doesn't stop. But it's also the hormonal kind of imbalance that comes with it that is
Hmm.
really heavy and affects you really badly. She did find a couple of cysts and she didn't go into detail or I didn't even ask too much, but she goes, that's probably why the bleeding and that calms me down, that there is a reason for it, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's just not fucking fun. But hopefully, she said that whatever she gave me now, I'm so bad. I'm like, whatever, just give it to me. I listen to what she says and I understand it in that moment, and then I'm like, I have no clue what she said. Like I promised my friend to leave her a voice message after I leave to tell her
Hmm.
what she gave me, and I was like, I don't know. She just gave me this box and this box. And
Yeah, you should record your video, your audio with your
I take
doctor.
notes. I take notes for the important stuff. Like when do I need to start? When do I need to stop? Do I need to take it on a specific day? Stuff like that. But like,
Yeah.
what is in the pill? What is the active component of the medicine? I'm like, no, I'm not going to
Yeah.
start trying to spell something and then I'm missing half of the shit that she's telling me because
Well,
I'm
that's why
trying
I'm
to.
saying I think we need to normalize
Yeah,
recording our visits with our doctors
yeah. I always
because
tell my clients to do that and I never do it myself. Story of my life.
Donna.
But
All
yeah,
right.
but no, I started the meds. Hopefully everything will be fine. I stopped with the evil pill that was making me want to slit my wrists, and I'm okay now. So I'm just
All
happy to
right.
see you.
I'm happy to see you too. All right, let's hop into uh what um what episodes we had last week.
And the
Um
week before,
And
because
the
we
week
didn't do any.
before, well, yeah, I'm just gonna skip that one. No,
Okay, okay.
no, no, yeah, no. We had 2 episodes dropped since we did our last live. So we had last week was a mini, which is bullshit. People say something like, oh, you should just have more willpower, or you should whatever. Yeah, bullshit. People say. So we did a little 10-minute mini on these little fad sayings and why we thought they were not great. So
Yeah.
take a listen to that. And then the episode before that was Vanessa Galen, one of my favorite
Yeah.
health coaches. And honestly, I just checked the numbers today, and it's like gangbusters. Everyone's loving that one, especially on YouTube. So if you haven't listened to it
Nice.
yet, and I sent it to a few people, and I got feedback. Actually, I sent it to my German tutor because we talked about it. It's like a conversation class, so we have conversations about whatever, and we were talking about health and stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah." Well, she goes, "How do you know all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, I have a podcast where I pick people's brains and I learn a lot of stuff." And she's like, "Oh, send me the podcast." And so yesterday it was just in my class. She goes, "Oh, I listened to your podcast and it's so cool, so much
Nice.
fun, and I learned so much." And I'm like, "Yay!" Anyway, but it was specifically Vanessa's podcast that I shared with her because she's also our age. Everyone's going through
Yeah.
perimenopause and menopause, but Vanessa's amazing. And
She is.
we're gonna record another episode with her for our other channel on becoming a health coach because she's had
Yeah.
quite a journey as a health coach as well. So I think we just try to find any excuse now to talk to her.
Yeah, happily. She's fun.
Yeah, but that episode was specifically on keto and perimenopause, which yeah, exciting stuff. So I started reading back through a book by Megan Ramos, who's works with Dr. Jason Fung, who does a lot of fasting and things for type 2 diabetics. He's a kidney doctor. I don't remember the proper word for that. But yeah. Anyway, she has a book about intermittent fasting for women. And I realize as a person with ADHD, you have like the 3-month cycle of like you get really into something and then after 3 months it's gone. And I love fasting because I know that it works and I know that it's good for my body. And I know that, in a setting that's good. But I just need to be reminded. So it's like every 3 months, I just need to read the book, any book about fasting to remind me why I do it or why I should be doing it. So I started reading that while I was on vacation as well.
Nice. I mean, it is very important for us women, and we do talk about that with Vanessa,
Mm-hmm.
to do fasting right. And what I mean right is not right for a man, it's right for a woman, female.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is very different. And
Mm-hmm.
we need to know that.
Yeah.
Also
But
keto. I mean, like also anything. Also
exactly. But
sleep.
yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. And
We're delicate frickin' flowers, people.
and the other thing we talked about yesterday in my German class was which we talked about health because she had listened to the podcast again. So we also talked about like health trends, and I think we also you and I had a mini episode on health trends. And so she asked, and I'm like, I think that it's quite easy to see what the trends are because businesses latch onto that shit. And so even if you're not on social media at all, if you walk into any grocery store, you're going to see what the health trend is at the moment. And right now it's protein, right? Because everything has a package that says it's got protein in it. And so I said, but I also was thinking about it and I said, the other lady that's in the class with me, she said, "Oh yeah, she tried fasting, intermittent fasting as a trend." And I'm like, yeah, but actually, like, I think there's two kinds of trends. One is something that is ancient that keeps coming around again every 50 years or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
keeps
Yeah.
coming up again, but it's actually really old. So it's people have been doing it for this time, but then it just somehow hits mainstream media again, and then it becomes a trend. And I'm using air quotes.
Yeah.
And then there's, I think, the trends that come from new science that are coming out,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
new science, new things that kind of spur the topic again, like creatine, right? So that's been around for a long time as a supplement, but because there's new research about how it affects women, a lot more women are taking creatine now. And so I would call that a trend, but I also feel like it's more scientifically based rather than and then
Yeah.
there's the trends that social media,
I was
pick up
gonna say
on.
the trends that have zero science behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, or just, it's a tidbit and because
Yeah.
anything health related gets traction, people,
Hmm.
even if somebody doesn't know what the shit they're talking about, like us, a lot of times we don't know what we're talking about. We're repeating what we've read or heard or,
Sure.
researched ourselves. We're not doctors, we're not researchers, but we can talk about the stuff that we experiment with ourselves. And I think that's genuine, but I don't like it when people are advertising things that they really don't know anything about and like
Yeah.
really claiming that this is something. Not the way we approach it is like, hey, try it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, whatever. It's like,
Right, exactly. They swear by it, and
yeah.
yeah, that's true.
What's
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, like, even the protein hype at the moment, when you think about it, I mean, like, the what was that diet in the '80s that was huge?
Atkins,
Atkins diet. That
which
was
is
all based
basically
on
keto.
it's basically keto.
It is.
You know, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
My mom and her sisters have every single diet that was out there, they tried,
Yeah.
and we all had to do it.
Oh,
Whether we
okay.
needed a diet or not, whether we were, it didn't even matter. Like the cabbage soup, anyways, all of them. And funny enough, there's one recipe that we still sometimes make. I haven't made it in ages. Make is even too much said, but it was from the Atkins diet. And
Yeah.
it sounds rancid, but it's delicious. It is canned tuna
Uh-huh.
with melon. That's it. Canned tuna and melon. You
Really?
just mix the two up and you eat them, and it's so delicious, and it sounds disgusting,
Yeah, it
and we
does.
still love it. It does, doesn't it?
Wow.
It's so good.
Yeah. But I think and what I think Atkins did differently than just what you would call a regular keto diet. A keto diet is a specific framework of how many carbs you should eat. And then the point is that you're in ketosis. Same point with Atkins diet, but I did the Atkins diet research a while ago and really got into like what's the methodology. So I think
Mhm,
what Atkins did is they applied a methodology to a keto basics, right?
mhm,
So I thought that was really good because what they did is they said, okay, we're gonna bring you down, we're gonna lose the weight, and they have phases, right?
yeah,
And then at some point we want to add carbs up to the point where your body is then now switching, right?
yeah,
So, because everybody's kind of got this different scale of how many carbs the body can, if your body is really carb focused, you can't add too many carbs because your body's
yeah,
going to switch right away. But if you can stay long enough and doing a keto diet, then at some point you can add a little bit more carbs up, and that's what the Atkins diet does. And I think that
yeah,
maybe that's good for some people because they really want to get to this very nice stasis of being able to eat. I'm saying normally, so being able to eat
yeah,
whatever they want, but now they have that better knowledge that, okay, I can't eat bread every day, but I could
mhm,
eat bread on the weekends and still maintain my weight. And you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like learning that stuff about themselves.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think that's what's nice about we're living at a time where it's kind of like tricky, but also nice because we do have the science to back more stuff up and
Mhm.
understanding, and even like keto flu and things like that. That was not any
Yeah.
discussion about before that made people, excuse me, that made people stop doing a certain diet because every
Right.
diet is going to work for you to a certain degree if you're stopping to eat like the
Right.
potato chips and the, like the more kind of like snacky or garbagey food, obviously it's going to work for you to a certain degree. But now we have also the science to back it up. And at the same time, we also have so much noise on social media
Mhm.
telling you to do certain things. And people don't necessarily differentiate between science and some
Yeah.
schmuck telling you what to do because it worked for his cat. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So, I think that's
listen to Vanessa's episode,
yeah,
it's great.
I was gonna say that's a good segue into today's episode because I
Mm,
titled it "Pickle Juice Fast," because you talk about pickle juice fasting in today's episode, which is session 4 with Joanna, which is our series where Donna is coaching a person. We call her Joanna, that's not her real name. And you get this kind of fly on the wall scenario where you get to see and hear how Danna coaches and what's going on. So if you haven't listened to this series yet, this is a great series to hop onto. And at some point, it'll all be in one playlist if you want to listen to it all at the same back to back. But yeah, pickle juice fasting. And I don't even remember the context because I didn't get a chance to re-listen to this episode. Do you remember what you were talking about?
I do. It has nothing to do with pickle juice, funny enough, but good clickbait. No, it was basically, yes, we did talk about fasting and how to kind of introduce yourself into fasting and start the first steps, because as our listeners probably know already, we're not about jump in the deep end, do everything you have to do, and then quit after 2 days. It's more about how do I phase things into my life and actually make things work. So one of the things that I always guide my clients to do is to start trying to have apple cider vinegar water. So just basically diluted apple cider vinegar with some salt, with, you can add lime juice and stuff like that. But I always tell people, because no one can actually imagine what it would taste like. And so I always bring up the pickle juice water, right? Like if you would sit there and be able to sip it, or you just love that flavor, then you're going to love the apple cider vinegar with salt, because it's this savory drink. It's not anything but like a really delicious savory drink. And I'm a person who can literally finish pickles and then like chug the whole thing down. I love it. I love vinegar. So to me, that's where it kind of connects. So I was like, I need to use that as an analogy. If you love it, you're going to like that. If you hate it, give it a shot, but maybe you're going to hate it too. And most people actually like it.
I think so. I have my apple cider vinegar water with chia seeds and psyllium husk here, because that's like I realized I hadn't done that in a long time. Probably just because I was. I know why. Because I'm running out of chia seeds, and I was like, ooh. But my friend picked me up some chia seeds.
Start counting the chia seeds. I'm like putting only 7 in instead of 10. Yeah.
And then I've also been watching these videos on psyllium husk and taking more psyllium husk, which I also would like to do. So this is a great, like you said, it's a great way to get all of that. So I have like a tablespoon of psyllium husk. Right now, it's just a teaspoon of chia seeds, but also like another tablespoon, maybe 2 of apple cider vinegar. And I love it. Sometimes I even put in my electrolytes, but that's a lot. And I think I like to have my electrolytes in another. So I have like this, and then I have my electrolytes.
Yeah, makes sense. I love it.
I love salty water.
I love salty water. I love salt. I'm a bit of a freak when it comes to salt, but I think just adding salt, usually when my clients are like, I tried it, I hated it. I'm like, did you try to add a little bit more salt and a little bit more vinegar? Because it's like you don't necessarily think that adding the stuff that ruined your drink will actually make it better.
Yeah.
But if it's just kind of like this dirty water versus this really strong flavored drink, I think it makes a big difference. So yeah, but you can hear all about it in Joanna's 4th session. We do talk a lot about that.
Yeah. And then next week, we are launching the episode on another mini, because we do every other week a mini episode on the glycemic index. And I mean, I feel like this whole episode's like, it's all insulin, fasting, so on. But the glycemic index we talk about, and this has been also around for a very long time. And I remember learning about the glycemic index when I started working back in the early 2000s. And we talk about what that means: glycemic index, glycemic load. You'll hear Danna trying to do math.
This is why the words glycemic index never come out of my mouth, because I'm like, it involves math. Math should not be connected to food. Leave me out of this.
But in reality, it is really a good way for people to kind of have the book, hold on, I have it again right here. The book has this very simple red, like a standard American traffic light symbol, where you have green, yellow, and red. And what I like about the GI, the glycemic index, and of course They have the diet book, and they have all kinds of recipe books, et cetera, et cetera. But again, it's more along the lines of how do you pick the foods that you like and understand how your insulin and your glucose levels will react to that. And how do you pick a better version? I mean, the most simple one, the one that I always use is American white bread, which you can get everywhere else, but everywhere else they call it toast, at least in Europe. American white bread versus sourdough, which is fermented bread. And they're both bread, but because one is fermented, it has a completely different reaction on your insulin and your glucose levels. And that's what the glycemic index tells you. And that's why I think it's really fascinating for people who like to have a little bit of data, but it's also fascinating for anyone who's like, I don't want to count. I just want to know what's a good alternative. I don't want to have to think about calories. I don't want to have to think about carbs. And this is a really great way of saying, hey, if white bread is 100 and sourdough is 78, choose the lower number. There you go. And then try to have more greens than yellows and a few reds. It's super easy color coding system, but
yeah.
So
if you want to hear Megan, killing it and me sounding very confused, next upcoming mini is for you.
Wow, I feel like this was extra long because we didn't get a chance to catch up before I got back, but I also feel like I'm blabbing a little bit because my brain is not completely on yet. So
that's the funnest part.
Yeah.
We're enjoying
anyway, so I think we should leave it there because this is a pretty long live for us. Although I see people doing lives for like 2.5 hours. I'm like, okay, we could do that. I'm not sure anybody
no one will
want to watch it.
I'm always curious who is actually watching the 2.5 hour long.
I think it's just, I mean, I can understand it a little bit, but I don't know. I don't have the attention span to watch that. I've thought about it before, doing lives where I'm just knitting and chatting, or actually I've thought about doing lives where I show people how to plan trips to Switzerland, like how to like organize a trip online. And I thought, oh, I'll just go through that and I'll just do it live. And if somebody wants to join me, but anyway, I think I'm going to need a nap before I do anything else. I love my naps.
You do that.
I do. Okay, and everybody else, we'll see you again next Wednesday when we'll be back with another amazing time with Danna and Megan on the So Frickin Healthy show. Ding! Awesome. Okay.